Maria Kuriakose, founder of sustainable lifestyle startup Thenga, speaks to the news trumpet about how she is trying to promote sustainable living while providing livelihoods to artisans. She always wanted to be an entrepreneur. When the lockdown was announced last year, she decided to return to her native Kerala from Mumbai and focus on a dream of starting a business with a cause. In conversation with Rishabh Shaju, a video producer at the News Trumpet, she said,
It was an instinct that I wanted to work on tenya. Tenya meaning you said it's a coconut in
Yes,
Malayalam.
yes.
Because that fruit was, or a nut, that nut was quite, it had numerous benefits.
Right,
The
right.
coconut oil, coconut milk, it was really a superfood.
Okay,
But I felt in Kerala, it was mainly being used for coconut oil, and that was it.
right.
More than that, nothing much was being done. And I saw in Southeast Asian countries how a coconut would come into a plant, and the husk is being used for coir, the shell is being used for activated charcoal, the
Okay,
water is being packaged into packaged coconut water, the
right,
flesh is going into creating other products.
right.
So every part of it was being utilized. So
Okay,
that kind of a culture I didn't see in Kerala.
okay.
And obviously, when you are in a land with so much coconuts, you don't really understand the importance of it.
Very
So
true.
I felt that there could be a market for it where I could use the byproducts or the products that the oil industry is not using
Right.
to develop something new.
Okay.
So, while I was working in Mumbai, I was researching on the side. I went to an oil mill, my friend's dad's oil mill. And
Mm-hmm.
there I saw that coconut shells were actually being burnt off.
Okay.
Coconut water was also being wasted,
Okay.
but coconut water plant required a huge investment. A few crores had to go into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I was starting business for the first time and I didn't have a business background, I
Yeah.
wasn't very sure. Even my parents weren't sure, quitting the job and then taking up business.
Right.
So I didn't want to take that huge risk of a few
Risk, yeah.
crores. I didn't have the courage for it.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at coconut shells.
Okay.
And I realized that it was a very durable material. It was quite strong.
Okay.
And also, it's very widely available from where I am.
Yeah.
And traditionally in Kerala, we used to make utensils with it, but
Mm-hmm.
currently it's not so popular.
Mm-hmm.
People hardly use it for the namesake, or it's
Right.
there lying in some exhibitions. So people don't really pay a lot of attention to it. Once steel and plastic and glass, everything came into place.
Very true.
I thought, something could be done with this. I created, so by the time when I decided I wanted to focus on coconut shells, I quit my job in Mumbai and I had returned back to Kerala.
Okay.
So here at that time, I was depending on my parents. I stayed with my parents, tried to develop a few samples of
Yeah.
coconut products, and then I sent it to a few businesses.
Okay.
That's how the first set of orders came in. They liked the product. I created a few bowls with it
Okay.
with my parents.
Okay.
That's how I got the first set of orders, and
Amazing.
from there we started improving the product, expanding the
Right.
product range to where we are today.
Right. Very good. Amazing. I mean, it's been a whole journey. You started from economics, your interest in business, and then leading up to having your own brand, which is very famous. Not only famous, sustainable and eco-friendly is the first thing that comes to our mind. Amazing. So that also says the kind of inspiration you got, the motive you had. Now, Maria, is there any specific reason? You have already mentioned a lot about this, but anything in addition to this, why coconuts are specifically chosen as a product for making bowls and ladles and spoons?
Yeah, I'm just thinking to my, a couple of years back or 2.5 years back when I was doing this thinking process.
Yeah.
I remember, thinking about a lot of business ideas. What can I do? What can I start? And every day I used to have a new idea, and
Okay.
I was unable to start something.
Okay.
Something in the eco-friendly space. One day I would think of a zero-waste shop. Second day I would think of, coir products. Third day, coconut water. Ideas used to flow into my mind, but I was
Right.
never able to fix on something or start something.
Right.
There was this one point where I was so stressed that I was someone who really loved doing business. I wanted to start. So I said, let's just start something with vaguely what you like. Don't think too much about it. Let's
Right.
just start and see where this goes.
Yes.
So, Coconut I chose specifically because I am from Kerala.
Okay.
And I knew that I wanted to go back to where I am from, and I wanted
Right.
to support the farmers or the agricultural sector there, because I
Right.
was always for a natural lifestyle. So I knew, I could do more. I could go, instead of working in a city, I could go back to my hometown,
Yeah.
and work on certain things and market it well.
Yeah.
Because I felt in Kerala, there are a lot of really good products, but
Right.
it's not marketed well. It's not brought out. Accessibility is less.
Very
How
true.
it's portrayed to the public is not so well put. So, people don't realize the importance of the products
Yeah.
or the, agricultural produce that we have.
Okay.
So I zeroed in on coconuts because I had first listed down the best products that, as state Kerala produces.
Okay.
And coconut is one of the major things, because
Okay.
inside I knew I wanted to go back to my place, work on some agricultural product. So it cannot be any product that's growing in West Bengal or in Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to bring it to Kerala, work on
True.
it. So my initial motive was to find a product that's easily available in Kerala,
Okay.
because I wanted to come back. I wanted to work in the agricultural sector, improve how things are put across
Yeah.
to the people outside Kerala and also outside the country.
Right.
So, I zeroed in on coconuts like that. A few products I had put down. Okay, rice is one of the major crops. Coconut is one of the major crops. And similarly, a few crops I had listed down.
Yeah.
And I chose coconuts because, I felt that there are, because for any other product, I have to procure. Say, if I'm making wood products, I have to bring wood to make those products.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
means I have to cut trees, or, I
Very
have to
true.
say, if I want to make something with rice, I have to grow rice to make, those products. But coconut shells were already a waste product.
Okay.
So I realized that, if I am using that raw material, which means that I am saving thousands from going to the landfill,
Okay.
and also replacing other glass or plastic or wooden
Exactly.
items that are
Yes.
in the kitchen.
Right. Right.
So, I felt that, and, utilizing something that would have gone as waste
Okay.
without any value add, that
Okay.
really, motivated me and,
Okay.
brought that to start.
Okay. So exactly, that makes a lot of sense because it's time that we find easier and durable suggestions. For example, now that you are in Kerala, choosing coconut was the ideal option. Choosing some
Yeah.
other product would lead to an even harsher environmental issue. As you said, if you would choose trees for something, you would have to cut them down. So amazing.
Yes.
And that's such a nice way of choosing a fruit that you can make use of every part of that fruit you can make use of. So next question would
Yes.
be a little technical question. Now we know about the coconuts, we know about how Tenga has established itself as a brand, but the back end process or the production process is something that people are very inquisitive about. So what happens at the production process? How are these coconut shells turned into full form transformed bowls as well?
Yes. So initially, when I had come back and I wanted to create a few samples, we had set up a machine which is, kind of a jugaad, a small machine with a sanding wheel, a small buffing wheel. And, this I was able to put together because my dad was an engineer and he always had a natural this thing for machines and how to do things with it. So, he helped me set this up, and obviously he set it up, but I had to do the manual labor I had to do of actually polishing these bowls.
Right.
So I would get these coconut shells with all the coir and hair on it. There's a sanding wheel. So this is the initial process that I started. Even now, the process is quite simple. Anyone can make it, but it takes a lot of time to get it to that finish.
Right.
So, there's a sanding wheel. So you have to hold the shell and remove the hair of the coconut bowl. Okay, I'll just show this.
Yes,
I
please,
have a
definitely.
coconut bowl with me, so it's easier. So this is the finished coconut bowl.
Okay.
So usually there's a lot of hair and coir on it. So with the sanding wheel, with this motion, I do this, and then the sanding would remove the hair, and that's how this surface becomes smooth. So if you don't skilled way, it'll go in all sorts of manner and it won't be a smooth finish.
Right.
So it takes some time to have that kind of finish.
Exactly.
Then we, so first we soak in water so it's easier to remove this. Then we do the sanding. Then there is buffing. It's just cloth that we use to, nothing unnatural, just a wheel of cloth. that we use to give the final polish, and then
Alright.
we apply coconut oil.
Okay.
That gives it the shine. The process is quite simple. You don't need
Okay.
any advanced machinery or anything.
Yeah.
But at that point of time, when I was starting, all I had was time. I didn't have a lot of funding to start with.
Right.
What I had was time. So because this didn't need any big machinery or complicated things, it was
Right.
perfect for me.
Right.
I could sit at home, create the first batch of 20 bowls,
Mhm.
and that's how I got the first. Right now we are working on a few other products. This is the initial basic product
Yeah.
that we do.
Yeah.
The back end and other processes to find, see, like not every coconut is this shape or size.
Exactly.
It all comes in all shapes and sizes. So
Exactly.
if it's a slightly smaller and a longer coconut, we use it for cups. If
Okay.
it's a bigger one, we use it for a jumbo bowl. If it's a tiny one, we use it for a mini bowl. So
Right.
that kind of sorting should happen. And some shells we are not able to use for anything. So
Exactly.
people usually ask me, okay, it's a waste coconut shell. You said the machinery is simple, but it still costs 350 to buy.
Yeah.
So why does it cost so much? Because of the manual labor that goes behind it.
Right.
And also the 350 is inclusive of everything, the
Yeah.
courier that we send to you, the packaging, the person packaging it. So
Yeah.
all that cost goes into it. So people think that we have a huge profit margin because of the pricing. Actually, we don't. We only maintain a very slim margin because
Yeah.
we love what we do.
Yeah.
And we want to continue and make it bigger.
Right.
But we focus a lot on the quality. So,
Yeah.
sometimes when you make a few, something may go wrong. We always reject those pieces and
Okay.
use it for something else. Say,
Okay.
you can, small bits of this can be used for making spoons. So we would cut out a round like this
Okay.
and then attach a wooden handle for the spoon.
Okay. Okay.
Back-end process, the machinery is simple. It's just finding the right size. Putting the effort to make it. A few may not come out the way you want it. A few may crack in the process.
Right.
Ultimately the finished shells would be, if you would select a few hundred, and you may get 75 or 70 pieces as a finished product.
Right.
So that process is actually a quite tiresome one.
Makes sense.
So, I had to got the first order, the first 100 bowls I had made. So I realized the pain.
Yeah.
That time I didn't have any support system. I went around to all my relatives' places because in Kerala, every person has a coconut tree, a few coconut trees in their
Yeah,
backyard, to
definitely.
find the right shape that I
Yeah.
had committed.
Mhm.
So that was actually a difficult process.
Okay.